Hey everybody, I'm nutritionist Keith Klein. Many years ago, I worked with a psychiatrist, and I also owned the clinic, the Institute of Eating Management and Relapse Prevention, for almost 40 years. And one of the things that I tried to do during that time was help people with reframing the approach to weight loss, because most people made it more difficult than it needed to be, made it decorative and omissive or whatever. So I came up with a term, which I actually trademarked back in about 1983 or so, called better bad choices. And it had a huge impact on the people I was seeing to help them reframe engaging in eating somewhat bad food, so to speak, foods that would be the opposite of helping them lose weight. The idea of better bad choices was simply that if you're going to have a bad food, make it a better bad choice and just make it better. So, for example, if you're going to go out and have a hamburger, what's wrong with having a kitty burger? Maybe that's all it takes to satisfy you, to get the urge out and to eat it, and you've just gone from a 1,100 calorie hamburger to a 400 calorie hamburger. And to make it even a better bad choice, if I normally got cheese, bacon, and mayonnaise on it, and now I get lettuce, tomato, onion, and mustard, I've removed another 300 or 400 calories off of that dish, and I really didn't have to give up having a hamburger. You know, for me, helping my clients, I felt there were three ways that a person could make a better bad choice that would have an impact if they were to do this over time. For example, one is just make a more positive food selection, one like I just suggested. If you were eating red meat 5 times a week and now you do it 2, aren't you doing better? Because in the course of a year, you've eaten it 24 times, you haven't eaten it a massive number of times, right? You've radically reduced how often you eat the bad foods that create your weight gain. So that's the second way to make a better bad choice, is to not do something as often. The first way was to make a more positive food selections. And the third way is not to eat as much of it as you always did. So if I always had a 12-ounce T-bone and now I have an 8-ounce, I'm actually doing radically better in terms of calories and fat consumption, and I didn't have to give up my favorite foods. When you incorporate that across the spectrum of your eating program, it's amazing how you don't have to give up all the things you love, but at the same time, you can radically cut back on the amount of food and calories and fat that you're consuming, which can really aid to a much more longer-term weight loss. Remember, any change that you make has to be sustainable, and most of these diets are asking you to do totally unsustainable things. If you'd like more information like this, go to leanbodycoaching.com or watch the documentary Beyond Weight Loss. Again, I'm clinical nutritionist Keith Klein.